you first, this is a 2-year-old little girl with autism. And she does have some language, you'll hear that. And essentially what she does, and the only language she had when we began, was to repeat the numbers on the side of a block over and over again. This was her favorite activity. And one of the things you'll note in this is her lack of joint attention. Now, a typical 2-year-old may indeed be interested in blocks and numbers, but they probably would have had a range of other communications they would have given, but more importantly, they would have been showing the block to the parent and bringing the parent into the play. And that's what this child fails to do. Now, what we see is the clinician here on this side, and then in the background is mom. And I don't know if this one's not, okay, you can hear. So she is pretty much talking to the blocks. And you also notice that the play itself is not extremely varied, you know, that she's doing some pretty repetitive things with the blocks, essentially picking them up, turning them over, looking at them, setting them down, picking up a second one, turning it around. And this goes on like this throughout the whole session. So now let's look at the same little girl about 6 months into intervention. And when you look at this, it may just look like, you know, there's two people playing together. And that's what we hoped that it would look like a normal kind of interaction. But actually, it's extremely well choreographed. So there's very specific objectives that this therapist has in mind. The therapist is looking for opportunities to work on those objectives in the context of the interaction, and has very specific rules about whether